on days like this when I've retreated to my little workroom and the weather outside is just so grey and damp and miserable, it can do us all the world of good to look back at pictures of how our garden was looking last year. Obviously, if you make videos, brilliant, you can look back at those as well, but it's all too easy to forget at this time of year when it's particularly grey outside just how absolutely brilliant and colourful our gardens can be. But it's not just colour that flowers can add to the garden. We all know the benefits these days of bringing in and encouraging pollinators. I've done a whole other video on that a year or so ago, which I'll link at the end. They can encourage predators to get rid of things like your black fly. We all know on broad beans tend to get, or fava beans tend to get covered in black fly each year. If you can encourage some ladybirds in, they'll sort them out for you. They can be used as sacrificial plants. We all know about nasturtiums getting absolutely covered in aphids, but keeping them away from your precious other plants. There are so many reasons, but for me, what I'm going to do today is give you my top 5 seeds that I plant in my garden every year in reverse order. Okay, this is my number 5 seed, and this might be one of the first flowers you ever grew because it is such fun, and that is the sunflower. Now, this year I'm growing a claret sunflower. You'll all be familiar with the bright yellow, tall, beautiful fields full of sunflowers that you see on people's holiday photographs. Just absolutely beautiful things, but they are so much fun. They are ideal for young children to start growing because of the size of the seed. They are fantastic, not just for the bees, but when the season is coming to an end, those heads are absolutely packed full of seeds. Leave them on the stalk, let the birds come to them, or if not, snip them, turn them upside down and dry them, and then hang them out in your garden over the winter months, and the birds will absolutely love you for them. Okay, seed number 4 in my reverse order of special seeds is, you'll all agree with this, I'm sure, the sweet pea. Now, it's not one I would necessarily grow for pollinators. It's not one of the better known ones, but it does attract the insects. You can't see much from these at all. I'll put some pictures on. But this year I am growing Mammoth Scarlet and Royal Family, and the reason for doing this is purely the scent. I was talking about different layers that flowers can bring to the garden. The scent of a sweet pea, for me, just sums up the summer months, and so to be able to pick them and enjoy them either in your own home or give them out to friends. I've never seen anybody turn down a bunch of sweet peas, and the best thing is they just keep growing. Much as your garden peas, you're encouraged to pick all the time, because the more you pick, the more will grow. The same with a sweet pea. So do not be afraid of picking those blooms as soon as they're out, because the more you pick, the more will grow. And if you disagree with that, if you don't like sweet peas or you don't like the scent, I would like you to put that in the comment below, in the comment box below, and tell me exactly why, because I've never met anyone who doesn't enjoy it. Okay, the third flower in my little box of flower seeds here won't come as any surprise to you if you've been watching my channel for any period of time, because that is cosmos. So the reason I grow cosmos, it is just so reliable. it attracts insects like crazy. It's tall, so it makes an impact. Be careful on the variety that you choose. If you want tall like me, make sure that, well, for example, this year I've got the seashells variety. I did grow one a couple of years ago. It may have been Dazzler, but it was an orange cosmos, and it was only a short one. So that's fine if that's all you want, but to get a really beautiful splash of colour, try treating yourself to a mixed variety like this. As I say, these are called seashells, and they've got furled petals, so they just look incredible. But one of the best things about these is they are so well worth it. That you get such value for money. You can pick these, and as with the sweet peas, the more you pick, the more you get, because basically as you're picking, you are prompting the plant to produce more flowers so it can produce more seeds. And these are so long flowering. Honestly, my cosmos last year, I was still picking end of October. I mean, the whole plant was looking a bit bedraggled, I must admit, but I could still pick them at the end of October. So definitely, depending on the space that you've got, try and put a few cosmos in with the rest of your borders, because you won't regret it. Okay, plant number 2 in my top 5. Again, I don't know how many times I've waxed lyrical about this on the channel. I could not envisage a plot without these. Now, they are a very traditional flower to grow in allotments as well, so even my plot neighbour, who doesn't necessarily believe in growing extra flowers, will grow these. So can you guess yet what they are? They are orange. The bees absolutely adore them. They self-seed like crazy. They are Calendula. Now you can see, oh, I don't want to hold that up because the camera keeps going dodgy, but this is a packet of mine that I have had. If I see the sell by date, oh my goodness, I think it's from, yeah, used by, so by December 2019. So these are quite old, and the reason I'm showing that is just because I have actually got the calendula seeds that I will be using this year are in an envelope at the allotment, because I just save the seeds year on year from the flowers. So the seeds I'll be sowing this year will be from last year's flowers, and they just give you so much. They don't cost much to buy a nice packet of fresh seed if you wanted to. If you're not fortunate enough to be able to get your hands on some fresh seed, you know, these are great. But I mean, but you can use the petals in so many things. You can use them in salve, you can use them in cooking. Use the actual petals themselves as a garnish on top of salads. It just looks fantastic. You can use the whole flowers. I mean, they are just multi-purpose and they are beautiful. They will not give you any trouble. Toward the end of the season, they might get a bit mildewy, but really no bother. You pop them in, you forget about them, and they will just get on with their job of looking beautiful. Okay, my number 1 recommendation for a flower to grow in your garden. If you, again, have been watching my channel for any period of time, you will know how much I have fallen in love with this flower over the last few years, and now I will always make space in my garden for them. They're a bit of a cheat. The others are from seed and you can save the seed, and so really cost wise they're very, very cost effective, but these are just a pure indulgence, and they are, of course, oh, my dahlias. I mean, every year I'm amazed. You can grow these from seed, by the way. I've never tried. I should try. But every year I'm amazed that from something that looks like, I I don't know, just something so incredibly unpleasant. Comes this most gorgeous, gorgeous display of flowers that can last for months. This dahlia was a new one to me last year. This is called Great Silence. I've never yet mastered being able to keep them over winter. I have tried keeping them in the ground. I have tried lifting them and keeping them in sawdust. I have tried everything, but sadly I always seem to lose them. So that is something I am trying to get on top of. If you have got a top tip on that, put it in the comments below. But again, as I said with the sweet peas, as I said with the cosmos, the fact that you can go in to your plot and have such a variety of colour, of shape, just to be able to go and snip your own dahlias and come away with armfuls of them, again, to share with other people, to have in your own house, that to me is just a huge luxury. And if we are trying to think of a practical way to not feel too guilty about having them, if you are one for having flowers in your house, think what you spend at the shops for a paltry little bouquet. Even in the supermarket, you will soon get your money back, and not just once but repeatedly you will be able to go out and just, oh my goodness, the amount of times I've got a trug of some sort of vegetables, eggs and whatever, your standard things to take home, and then on the way out I'll just snip a few dahlias, pop them on the top. It just makes the heart sing, honestly. So that's it. That is my top 5. We have the sunflowers, we have the sweet peas, we have the cosmos, we have the calendula, and we have the good old dahlia. What do you think? Do you agree with those? Do you disagree with those? Put them in the comments below, because I'd really like to know if it's just me who's smitten with these particular flowers. Do you grow flowers? If you don't, tell me why in the comments below as well. But I'm going to leave you with that, and hopefully that will have brought a little bit of colour to this grey February day. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.